Welcome to the Avengers podcast, where we assemble weekly to binge the MCU and all things nerd, old and new. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, TikTok, Twitch, wherever you get your social media at Avengers Podcast. That is one word, ladies and gentlemen, ABINGERS Podcast. We're also available on all podcast platforms, all the major ones. Look for us. We're there. You don't like the one you're listening to right now? Go find us somewhere else. I promise you. The option is there. And if you want to support the show, patreon.com/Avengers Podcast, $1 or $2 tiers today. Support the show, keep it alive and thriving for 2026 and beyond. Consider supporting the show today. We greatly appreciate that support. But I'm just one of your hosts. I can't do it alone. My name is Brandon. Keith, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing good. I finally thawed after scraping my car off from our first ice rain of the fucking year. And I even put my gloves in my new air fryer and put them on for a couple minutes.
Ice rain is such a Canadian thing to say. I will just say that because I 60 degrees in Tennessee. 60 degrees.
You.
I know.
Minus 14 here.
I deserve every bit of that. I really do. I felt bad. I walked outside and I was like, ooh, it feels warm. Ooh, I feel like a dickhead. I don't even want to talk about it. It's warm in Tennessee. I don't want to be that guy. But here I am. 60 degrees, January 6th. What is this? Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Emmy couldn't be here today. She sends her love. She actually sent also a 2-minute clip of her thoughts. So guys, we will still feature her thoughts, but if you click the thumbnail or if you've clicked this audio presentation, we are reviewing the Avengers Doomsday trailers. So if you have not watched those trailers, we want to be sensitive to you all. There's several of you that do not like listening to trailer thoughts or watching trailers. We completely respect that. We want to give you the time to leave. So this is your spoiler warning now. Obviously, we don't know the spoilers to Doomsday, but there will be trailers and they're going to talk about things and we're going to speculate things. So guys, if you have not watched those trailers, please leave now. There's a chance we may talk about the earlier one as well if you haven't watched that. So there's been 3 total trailers released by Marvel Entertainment. 3. So we're going to discuss the other 2 today and probably even hint at the first one we've seen. So leave now. Leave. Go away. Please. Spoiler warning. You've been warned.
Get out of here.
All right. Just the people that have seen the trailers now. You guys are cool. All right. All right, guys. So Keith, I want to talk to you real quick about these trailers. I kind of spurred this podcast last second because we got another drop. We've talked about the again, I feel bad even saying it because I'm like, oh, someone listening that doesn't want to hear this, but I've given enough warning. The Captain America one. We talked about that one. And in our review of the Captain America one, we were pretty critical because it said everything and nothing at the same time. Hey, this guy you really like, he's in the movie, but no context at all. Just Captain America. We kind of ripped on that one pretty hard. And then we also talked about a Thor trailer. I do want to say in the Thor trailer we watched, Doom was walking in that trailer and he said Thor Odinson, and it kind of made no sense to me. I'm like, what is this? Turns out that was it appears was fake because the one officially released by Marvel Entertainment, it was the one we saw, but there's no Doom in this one at all. And I want to talk about the Thor one first because we've already kind of talked about our thoughts on it. We can kind of pretty quickly summarize this one, but now that it's been officially released by Marvel Entertainment, anything that stood out to you, Keith, that was different from the one we watched when it was kind of speculative?
Well, the audio sounded a lot better. I think what we're experiencing right now is a time where people are using, first of all, Marvel releasing your trailers one at a time in front of different weeks that Avatar plays. It's just gonna get leaked.
It's a choice.
Weird idea, man. But we live at a time where people can write down their thoughts or write down the description of what they saw when they went to go see Avatar, Ash and Bones or Ash and whatever the fuck cigarettes. And then they just type it into a AI image generator and it makes a trailer for you. And it's based on everything you just filed into there. And that's what I think a lot of people were seeing were these, because I know that there was also a AI crappy version of the Steve Rogers one where Tony Stark shows up at the door and he goes, "You're not Tony Stark," or "You're not who I think you are." And it was just like that was spreading around the internet as well. And so it just makes you so less trusting of these ones that aren't really giving you more information, that are like Thor looks like Thor from Infinity War. He looks like Thor from Ragnarok. He's got the short hair. He's sleeveless. Like that could have been fake. It looks strange that he's regressed, he's going backward, he looks like an earlier version of him. It looked better than the one that we watched, the one that
Sounded
we
better.
that was,
Sound
had some
sounded
fakeness.
better too. Yeah.
Sounded better, yeah. The
Yeah.
audio, the voiceover was better, but
Mhm.
no new information. I strangely almost prefer the Thor one to the other one we're going to talk about, but
This is going to be a good debate. Because I will just say the first two were, it's so funny. Like I would have said, you're spoiling too much. This is, you're going off a nostalgia bait. What are you doing? Stop it. And then the third one that we saw, which is the X-Men trailer, completely is everything I am critical about, and I fucking loved it. I hate to say it. I was so like, it was like they reeled me in. Like I was just a fish that was refusing to nibble on the worm. And then the third one comes out. And there's people that are very, very critical of all these trailers, and rightfully so. I I still think they gave nothing away, but I thought, as weird as it sounds, the acting in the very short amount of time we've seen these three characters, which is Charles Xavier, Magneto, and Professor Xavier and Magneto, and Cyclops. The very limited time we've seen these three characters, all three of them, their facial expressions, the words they say, and the actions they do is, to me, way better than what we've seen from the Thor and the Captain America one. And they're also in much more duress than Captain America and Thor is. So it's demanding more of them as well from their performance. And
Mhm.
so again, what's the duress? How much are they going to be featured in this? Is this just going to be cameo city? That's where that's I'm saving that critique for the movie, I guess is what I'm going to.
Yeah, that's
Because
fair.
this I felt stakes. I felt sadness. I felt something is really impacting these three characters that we've grown to know and love since the year 2000. I mean, think about it. We
Hmm.
reviewed this movie, and all three of these guys were in that movie in 2000. Also, self-admittedly, I'm a Cyclops fanboy. Everyone knows that, and I've not seen Cyclops in traditional Cyclops gear, and it's Marsden in the, it's like seeing Wolverine. One of the things we loved about
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine, seeing that moment, I was like, again, I would have loved to see this on the big screen. Save that shit. I would have been, my jaw would have been dropped seeing Marsden in the yellow and the blue and like ripping it off and like going through that anguish.
Yeah.
Save it for the movies. Save it for the movies. But I will just say, I really thoroughly enjoyed this. I love Ian McKellen more than life itself.
Hmm.
He is a fantastic. His voice, I was like, son of a bitch, I just hear Keith now. But like, but it was really really good. And like Charles holding his hand and them just
Charles.
embracing Charles when they embraced. It just, again, it's clickbaity. It's annoying. Shouldn't be a grainy video that we've seen for a week and then they release it again on Marvel Entertainment. It's just such a shitty rollout. But I will just say, everything I critique the Captain America trailer on, everything I critique the Thor trailer on, I'm being such a hypocrite by saying I like the X-Men one. I thought the X-Men one plucked at my heartstrings and got me more emotionally invested than the other two. Uh, I felt like I was going through the motions the other two. This one I really, really liked. Keith, feel free, slam it home. What'd you think of this one?
Imagine a world where
Yeah.
I did not know who was going to be in this movie instead
Yeah.
of a trailer to the trailer to the trailer, pre-production
This
trailer
is this is
of
a
the
trailer disguised as a
90s.
trailer being another trailer. Sorry.
Imagine, I even tried to in the second viewing right before we recorded to imagine, what if they didn't do that whole director's chair thing where they showed us every single person almost who's going to be in this, and now they're showing us a scene that very well could be, oh, the X-Men die and now they're not in it anymore. It could be the cold open of the movie and then they not be in it. I know that there's probably tons of rumors and articles online saying no, 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 they shot Marsden, shot scenes with this person or that person and they're going to be more involved. I want that, yes, of course. um and I knew the second that I'd heard that Cyclops was going to be in this trailer that people were going to be excited about the original suit. We've seen that they can do that correctly with Wolverine, like you say. It was very exciting to see that in Deadpool and Wolverine. I want that too. I was a big X-Men fanboy growing up. I have so much more of their comics than anybody else. So I want that so badly. But now I'm just nervous that they're only going to be in a tiny bit of the movie and then they're going to be gone. And I don't want to get screwed over that way. I want to see the characters that I miss from the newer stuff, the ones that are supposed to be the big Avengers now, and I want to see them working cohesively together. I'm excited for that. I see so many people saying in our Discord that they don't want to see any more trailers. They're done.
Mhm.
And I don't disagree. I'm at that point where every trailer we've seen so far has been spoiled for me, and every cast member we've seen so far I already knew was going to be in this. So it's like, I hate to sound like a wet blanket, but this movie's just making me, oh, these obligatory, very nothing, showing me nothing trailers is what it feels like. The Cyclops ripping off his goggles was fucking awesome to see, though. I will say that. The blast was great. The suit looked great. These are all things I know that the MCU does well, is the special effects stuff, the emotional impact stuff, the suits being correct. So I am stoked to see that, but it is going to take, I have such a high bar when it comes to doing the X-Men right. You know what I mean? Like,
Well said.
being such a
Especially after
fan of the
X-Men
comics.
97, to be very honest with you. 90, the comics are
Yeah.
amazing, don't get me wrong, but 97 was so outstanding. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's my expectations went exponentially up. I'm like, okay, Marvel Studios did this. So we know they can do it. Can they translate it to the big screen?
And
If not,
I
no.
hope the Russos are paying attention to that. I hope they're seeing that got such a huge reaction and a great, like, positive response, is seeing the X-Men from the 90s in their bright colors, the core group being so important and done well. Like, how fucking cool would it be? Do you remember in X-Men 97 Wolverine and Nightcrawler taking on a bunch of whatever they were, like Sentinel, like
Mhm.
upgraded
Yep.
Sentinel people, but with the two swords and like him flipping around with his tail being involved, like
Insane.
holding one of them, it's seeing that in live action would be, that's the dream, right? That's what
That
I
is.
want to see, is X-Men working together, kicking ass, and being so thought out in how the Russos do action, and I know that they do action really well. That's what I want so
Is
badly.
it,
So yeah,
is it
fingers
sad that
crossed.
with X-Men 97, I genuinely wish they never made it. Like, I wish that was just their big screen movie, like into like a
Mm,
trilogy, because like, just imagine, oh, we're jumping off of that cartoon you know and love, but live action, and here it is. And
I
just
would
like,
get it.
oh, it is. But God, the story was so damn good. And I
Yeah.
really feel like people would have really loved it. Anyway, to me, I was like, this should have been your big screen moment right here.
Yeah.
Don't shoot your load on the cartoon. As much as everyone loves the cartoon, I grew up watching the cartoon too. I get it, but have it come out and just them, and there they are, and just live
Mm.
action form. Anyway, I did reach out to our Discord earlier today, and guys, if you are a patron of ours and you do not have access to the Discord, reach out to us. Let us know. We would love to be able to feature you on there. But yeah, just basically saying, hey, what'd you guys think? What did you think of the trailer? Keep us in your thoughts. God, hold on. Edit that. I got a missed call, so it messed my brain up. Um, Let me make sure here. I don't know who's calling at 8 o'clock at night. That is super late. Um, So I reached out to our Discord and asked everyone, "Hey, what was your thoughts on the Doomsday trailer? Would love some hot takes for the podcast tonight." So again, if you are a patron of ours and you don't have access to our Discord, message us on Patreon. We will get you that access. And if you want access to our Discord, $1 today. $1 gets you access to our Discord, and we would love to feature your thoughts on future Marvel projects and trailers as well. So Montax30 said, "I've had enough. No more till December." Reds are on fire. Reds are on fire says, "This time is a school full of kids. That's more like Pokemon." And Ball Cap Derek said, "I agree with this. Leave it. I'm done with trailers. Let me find out the rest in theaters." Scarlet Wit said, "I want them to stop." Reds are on fire says, have one more next week and maybe something during the Super Bowl, although that might just be Spider-Man." Matt Trivia John said, "Number one trailer, eh. Number two trailer, eh," which was Captain America, Thor. Number three trailer, he showed a GIF of Hugh Jackman and it said, "Let's fucking go."
Yeah.
MJ Demon says hype, hype, hype. And Amanda M says, I see them as they're leaked, and every one of them makes me less interested. And then Cosmic Cretin, there was a couple of good, there was a couple of good posts here that kind of went into a little bit more detail. Cosmic Cretin says, of course, Chris Evans will return. Of course, RDJ will return. Marvel can't let their cash cows go. They got to keep milking them for every cent they can get. Who cares if it ruins good storytelling? X-Men could possibly be the only saving grace for this movie if they do them right. But even then, Marvel Studios has a thing for not doing things right, so I'm not holding my breath on it. See, that's the capital that Marvel Studios has lost with the multiverse saga. Remember when it was like in Marvel we trust? That was a common thing we said. Now it's
Yeah.
like Marvel Studios has to build a lot of ground for
Yep.
viewers like Cosmic Cretin. He's not wrong. He feels this way
Yeah.
because of the product he's seen. And I just want to preface that. And so we'll see what happens. But he says, not to mention, I have a feeling this movie is going to be another cameo-a-thon. Not particularly looking forward to it. Not excited for it. We'll probably wait till it's streaming if I watch it at all. The trailers have done nothing for me, and the only reason they keep dropping them is because they can't keep the leaks under control. Wow, Cosmic Cretin, really good take there. Lady Winter
Yeah.
Soldier, they
Seriously.
suck. They suck. And
We
just a
expect
couple.
nothing less from her.
Right. And Buster Derriere says that these teasers are giving us little information and less excitement. It's barely more than names and chairs. And Doom is collecting kids, apparently. Who? Steve's alternate timeline baby, the Fantastic Four CGI baby, and Love Odinson? Cool. We have just as much emotional investment in those kids as we do lines on a screen at the TVA. Uh, and then we we do have one final thoughts as well. Is Smash Trivia John posts, I think they're focusing way too much on nostalgia for both the Infinity Saga and Steve series Thor and X-Men as an overcorrection to get people to see it because the internet's disdain towards the post-Endgame Marvel. But I think that's going to backfire because the internet is not general audiences. General audiences have liked a lot of post-Endgame Marvel, which is shown by how Marvel started doing badly financially when they started listening to the internet and became less sure of their new characters. So
Yeah.
a lot of great takes there, guys. I really appreciate your thoughts on that. I definitely feel like we have a very unique audience because we're Marvel diehards. We've
Mhm.
seen the casting chairs, so we're not general audiences. We are definitely more into the Marvel fanboys, I would say. But there, you can feel a range of emotions when you listen to the Discord talk. You can feel a range of I don't care. I don't feel an investment to these folks. I also feel like these are pointless. I feel more distance from this movie than I do. And a couple of people are really hyped about it. A couple of people are excited to see it. It just trailers are supposed to just be literally remember when it was just used to be like one teaser and one main trailer and that was it, and then a bunch of TV spots like a couple weeks before it would come out and you try to avoid the TV at all costs because they would
Yeah.
always give a little bit more detail. Anyway, it's Marvel just doing a very interesting choice, which the rumors behind it is to drum up interest in Avatar, which still doesn't make any sense to me. But they're releasing these trailers in theaters, and then a week later they're releasing them in YouTube. Which again, why? Don't I'm just very curious on the choice here, but I don't know if their diehard audience. I don't I don't think they're doing much because for general audiences, I'm confused. What is going on? And for
Yeah.
Marvel diehards, you're not giving us anything. What? It just I don't know. I feel like they're going about this in a very unique direction a year before this movie drops on the big screen.
I think the term cameo fest really was it who is it that said cameo fest? That was, I think, Cosmic Cretin.
Yeah, it was, yes.
Okay. The that is such a well put.
Cameo-a-thon. Excuse me, cameo.
Cameo-a-thon, sorry.
Yes.
Cameo-a-thon scares me. The
Yeah.
thought of that scares me because I rewatched like my mom and I watch all the MCU together and she was over during the holidays and the next one that we had on the list to watch in order was Deadpool and Wolverine. Me watching Deadpool and Wolverine with my mom, whose memory is not the greatest. She's trying to remember all these references that he's making, that like 90% of the talking that he does and the meta humor of the thing is knowing these references. And then all these cameos. And she's like, oh, yeah, that guy, Wesley Snipes. Oh, yeah, I remember that. But she was silent through the whole movie. And I'm sitting there going, by proxy, like I know this movie's more for me than it is for her just in general, but
Mhm.
I'm sitting there just like, losing interest in the movie and respect for it at the same time. It's like, if they do that with Doomsday, oh my god, I'm gonna be so mad. They need to have a very thought out story that features people well, balances people well, and do not just throw cameos at us for. Don't have people just there for no fucking reason.
Or just
Um,
there to die. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
have them serve a purpose. Now,
that's what Secret Wars is for.
right. Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, like I, what I wanted out of Infinity War, I remember seeing this and Endgame as well as stakes. And a part of me is conflicted because, like, for example, if you have just the X-Men there and it's their universe and that's what branches off and dies, that's stakes, but is it earned? And so that's where it's like, are you just using the Fox property to like, hey, we have it? I go back and forth on this one. I can make an argument two ways on this. Is you're creating stakes for me as a viewer, and you're also treating Doom the way he needs to be treated as a multiversal threat. And so if you come in and just literally light up the X-Men and the first 10 minutes of the scene, there's your Loki scene at the very beginning, even though they even went back on that. So but still, it's still a bit different version of Loki, technically. So the story still plays out in a very cool way,
Yeah,
and they still, that's canon. That vent is canon. They didn't go back on that. It's so I thought Marvel found a really cool way to use that, but if you branch this off and you kill these X-Men, and this is all speculative. I've not read anything. I'm not one of those people that reads and tries to find, oh, let me find all these spoilers. I don't do that. This is all Brandon's imagination. I want to just clearly say that. So don't
mm-hmm.
think there's a chance this could be spoiled for you. This is just a guy talking. But if they do talk about, like, in that first 10 minutes where, okay, part of me is like, there's your stakes, which is something I want to see in these movies. But then a part of me is just like, but this was something else, I mean, like we heard about the story of Logan in Deadpool and Wolverine, where like all of his X-Men die and he's the last one. Is this a scene, or is this even a flashback, or is this an actual the moment that happens that he's alluding to? Did that ever get fleshed out in Deadpool and Wolverine? You know what I mean? Is it just more
Yeah,
so, are they going to show that and him escaping? And that's what created a moment. And we kind of see it pay off from Deadpool and Wolverine. Then it stakes and it pays off a previous Marvel Studios property with Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going a little bit too far into it. But if it is, I guess I should just say this. If it is 10 minutes long and we see Marston and these two, and obviously in duress, and it quickly goes away and they're all gone, it could serve a narrative and it could be good. I I'm that's where I'm going to hold out judgment for the movie and see how they execute it as opposed to this. And maybe it is a cameo, but maybe it's an extremely well thought out one. And
yeah.
if that is the case, maybe we have a bit of our ice cream mixed in with our medicine. Maybe we don't like it, but it's not as bad as we think to take. So I don't know if that
Yeah, no,
makes
I
sense.
want it so, because otherwise it just becomes fan service. If it's not well executed, like you say, if it's not for good purpose and raising stakes, then yeah, it's gonna fall flat. It seems as though Marvel in like is gearing up, and I know that they've announced to who I think the director of Thunderbolts is going to be directing the standalone X-Men movie. We still don't know much more about the X-Men movie. This Doomsday movie is going to obviously gear up people's excitement for an X-Men thing, as well as kind of set some stakes, I think, walking away from it, who might be in it. I don't know if these are variants of the X-Men that we're going to see later, and these are the ones from the Fox universe, so they are only destined to die from this movie, and that's it. Or if it's more of a passing the torch, and here we go, we'll incorporate them in the future, but just as teachers or something like that. I have no idea what their plan is, but the fact that X-Men 97 came out and it was received well means that people want X-Men more than ever, and the
And the
studios are
bar is
hyped for
high.
that. So
And the bar is high.
we want to see good shit.
Well said, Keith. Emmy couldn't be here this evening, and again, we kind of recorded this on short notice, but I'm really excited. Emmy did drop some thoughts here, so we're gonna put her thoughts here for audio land. So let's hear from Emmy on her thoughts on the trailer. Spoiler alert: she couldn't fucking stand the first two, so I have a feeling this one, for someone who doesn't have a deep connection for X-Men, I don't think this is gonna sway her. But I'm putting some bets out there before. I have not listened to this message. You're going to hear our reactions real time. So let's hear it.
Guys, so this is the first time that I've not been able to be on a podcast officially. Maybe I'll show up later. Maybe I won't. Who knows? I had a basketball game now at halftime, but I did have three thoughts that I need to get out into the world. And so I'm going to say all three of them on this, but I'm going to give you points to pause so that you can pause and say, wow, I mean, that is an amazing point. You are so right.
Yeah.
So my first thought, I'll get the bummer out of the way first. I've said it once, said it more than once. I'm going to keep saying it until the cows come
Stop
home.
it. Stop it.
Stop it. Marvel, stop it. Stop putting these out. I need them to stop. It's not okay. Pause.
You're so right. She's so right. You're so right, Emmy.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Emmy, you're right. And I'm so glad you said it. You're right. Gosh, I'm glad you gave us a pause break to say how right you are. You know, though, if they did stop, this is something that was said on the Discord. Just again, these are listeners that are watching as well. They agree with Emmy, and she's a segment of the audience. She's not wrong. I won't say she's right. I refuse to do that shit, but she's not wrong.
I'll say she's right.
Damn it, Keith, don't feed that ego. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. My second point is at least there's no kids in this one, in the X-Men one. Obviously, there were in Thor. You've already heard my thoughts on that. Blech. But
yeah,
at least there's no kids in this one. And pause. Wow, Emmy, you were so right with that.
I like how she's filling her pauses now.
Now we're yeah. That wasn't Keith and I. I know the voice sounded like ours, but no, that was Emmy pretending to be us. But wow, Emmy, you're so right. I really do appreciate that as well. That's a really good point that Amy's making is I feel like you're really segmenting one part of the, like, what was it? Buster Derriere who was talking about like, why should we give a shit about these kids? No better than the lines in the TVA. There was no kids in this one, which is, it's a good call out by Emmy. Man, Emmy, you're so right. Gosh, wow.
So right. Oh my God. Good job, Emmy. And yeah, the kids thing is like, we don't need, what kid have you cared about in the MCU that you can remember? Like, that went on to mean something.
Peter Parker.
There you go. And he's an adult now. He's
Dang.
an adult now. That's the fucking trailer I want to see right now so
And
bad.
I
Someone said
love
that it might be the Super Bowl trailer. I'm like, hell yes, we need that.
Wiccan and Speed.
Roast.
Wiccan and Speed were fantastic, and I really thought they did exceptional.
Until the ice cream song.
Well said. And Wiccan in Agatha Along, I really like him. I think he's great. Miss Marvel is wonderful as well. There's a few kiddos, I will say. There's a few kiddos. But are we
now?
That's true. We're talking about it's the Stranger Things curse. Let's see. We're talking about little tiny children. Okay, that's really difficult. So, all right, let's feature Emmy's last thoughts.
All right,
that's a really good point. At least there's no kids. All right, and my third point, and this one is honestly, this is true for me. Watching this today, I think that the Doomsday Clock at the end is a really cool, like that's a cool gimmick. That is, I need them to figure out how to use that marketing, but in a much more mysterious way, because they are showing me way too much and I need them to stop. The countdown, like a doomsday clock, that's cool shit. That's really cool. Use it. Stop showing me stuff. All right. And hopefully I'll get to talk to you guys again soon and you guys can tell me to my face how exceptionally, amazingly right I was. Thank you very much. And
Emmy joins us live on the show right now. That was perfect timing, Emmy. We just finished your thoughts that we just featured. And now you can hear us live on the air. I'm not even kidding. Emmy has just joined our pod. And we literally just you couldn't have asked for a better segue, Emmy. I'm super excited right now. Just want to say I really liked your thoughts. I really do. I thought they were really, really great points. So just want to shout you out. They were good.
Thanks.
Thanks.
How fucked would it be
them to be included?
Yes.
If they did like try to market that Doomsday Clock in a different way, and it's just like, this is what I would be proposing to Marvel right now. I'd be like, okay, give me literally a millisecond of footage, and then just cut to the clock.
Yeah.
That's what I would see. Like just beep, and then.
Yeah.
I love the Doomsday Clock. I absolutely think it was such an important point that you made that we didn't touch on, Emmy, is there's no kids in this one. Like, yeah, I mean, it really is raw. But I will also say this. Chris Hemsworth, this one was true, but also Marsden, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, they were all in chairs. So I'm more bitter about the Captain America one more than any of them, just because that was literally spoiling casting, where these three, like, does that, so I guess like I'm getting less bitter as these trailers drop. Like I'm just like, because I know, I get it. But like Captain America was a genuine spoiler. Like a genuine, like this guy, we didn't know he was in the movie. I know we all thought it, but it's the same Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire situation where you kind of hope, but you're not entirely sure. They spoiled it again. Now with Chris Hemsworth, okay, kind of cool. Still, why does he have short hair? And these three amazing emotional performances. But again, save this for the movie. We're okay. But a lot of people are burned out on these trailers, and Emmy just wants you to stop. So Marvel,
Yeah.
next trailer. Stop that timer. Stop that doomsday clock. We don't want it. We're done.
And it's because we've had 3 now in what, 2 or 3 weeks? We've got 52 weeks left. Chill. Fucking chill.
Oh, are you saying they're going to release one every single week until
That's what it
God.
seems like.
That'll be the whole movie. 2 minutes times 52.
That X-Men one was not 2 minutes.
You're
There's no
right.
way.
It was about 1 minute and 10 seconds. So we will see almost an hour of the movie. Yeah.
God,
Unless
stop it, Marvel. Stop it.
A millisecond. Just show us a millisecond.
What if they
Also,
yeah.
in this trailer with the X-Men, I would assume that Magneto lifts a chess piece. He doesn't lift them. He slides them. This is not my Magneto. Hashtag not my Magneto.
Keith, you're so divisive. I can't stand you.
The illusion on that didn't look right either. It truly looked like a chess piece was on fishing wire.
I kind of like that. I'll be honest with you, because it tells me, is he weak? Is shit hitting the fan right now? Like it showed me he was struggling a little bit. And I kind of, again, God, I was telling Keith at the beginning of me, I was like, like the first 2 trailers with Thor and Chris or in Captain America are just nostalgic clickbait just to drum up interest out of desperation. Third, the X-Men trailer is 100% that, and it worked for me. I liked it. I really liked it. God,
that chess piece though, it gave me the feeling of is it a Geico commercial with the guy in the store that's got a dollar bill on it on the end of the fishing line, and he's like, "You got to be fast in that."
Gotta be fast in that. That's
what it gave for me.
Well, I'm excited for X-Men. Curious how it works. Curious. I don't know if I trust Marvel Studios. I sure as hell don't trust with how they're putting these out, because I think it's incredibly poor. It's just horribly done. I can't say that enough. But I will say this. I have watched I will just say this. Every Russo brothers movie I've watched in the MCU, I've either loved or was absolutely crazy about. No in between. They have either made a really, really damn good movie or something I really, really, I loved. I absolutely loved. And I mean, I know that's not entirely the case for Emmy, because Winter Soldier's in there, but they did Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. And so for these guys, the Russo brothers, and they're very hands-on, and they allow a lot of improv and like they allow a lot of natural things to happen. And oh, we're gonna pull that, or hey, have you tried this? They kind of do a little writing on the fly, and they're very collaborative with their actors who play these characters. I until they put out a subpar movie, which could be Doomsday. I hope it's not, but until they do, there's a part of me that's always going to be excited. Because of Marvel's poor marketing and poor rollout. That's you could make an argument Russo brothers are just holding everything to the chest because they don't want to release everything. And maybe they're like, okay, you want this, you want that. Okay, we'll feature it, but we're not going to give anything away, because they really are going to try to hold that. And Tom Hiddleston, he put a quote, and I don't know if I read this the last podcast. Did I include
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
Okay, let me pull up a quote from Tom Hiddleston. And I thought it was this gets me exceptionally hyped, I guess is the word I'm going to use, because that was also one of our patrons that used it as well. Hype. Tom Hiddleston says Avengers Doomsday will be monumental. And Tom Hiddleston that's the actor who plays Loki, just in case anyone doesn't know that, because Holland and Hiddleston, someone's gonna be like, wait, which one? It's the Loki one. My contribution, this is his direct quote from Discussing Film. My contribution has been made. It's monumental. The core of the story is brilliant, and it surprised me greatly when I read it. It simply has never been done before. So, Tom Hiddleston saying that, the Russo brothers behind this, I can't. I know this is the same guy who just literally shat all over the Captain America trailer like a week ago. I get that you're like, who is this guy and why is he so bipolar? I get it. I'm excited. I'm really, really excited.
I got more excited by the X-Men one after we talked, so maybe you're slowly infecting the rest of us with your excitement.
Maybe.
I would like that. I want to be more excited for this. I am rooting for the Russo brothers. I do not usually root for Marvel Studios' marketing team, so I stand by that stance that they need to shit or get off the pot, or just don't release anything else. Do the Doomsday thing. Do the Doomsday Clock thing, where you just tick 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 and just show us little bip, just little bip.
Or just a slow zoom out, and then you see Doom at the end of it, like at the end of the timer, and like, or or you barely see him or something. I don't know. Just have that be it. No, you don't need anything else. Again, I also think,
or even start really far away, and like the first trailer is like, oh, it's a shadowy figure in the distance, and then like it's like every couple weeks we get closer and closer, just like a clip, just a bloop
I
of
would
like
love that.
who that is.
And I will just say this: as annoyed as we are by the trailers, and we want them to stop, and I totally get that. 98% of the people listening to this podcast that are in our Discord, that are talking right now, we're going to see this movie regardless.
Yeah,
We could think, like, they could literally put a pile of shit and then put a Doomsday Clock on there. I'm still going to see this movie because that casting chair, and they don't, Keith, don't get any ideas. Don't do that. But the casting chair list, the Russo brothers behind it, and the Marvel Studios logo, everyone is going to see this movie. Now, whether we like it or not is, again, dependent on what the quality is that is produced on the big screen in front of us. But we're all going to see it. Like, it's not, we can be critical all day. I could literally hate the next 15 things they drop, and we could be very, very critical. That's not going to stop me from opening day sitting down to watch this movie. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just based on the Avengers property, Marvel Studios property, and the Russo brothers, and a lot of the actors I've given a damn about since the year 2000. So I'm just, at this point, I'm going to be critical where I need to be. I'm going to be excited where I need to be. But no matter what, I'm going to be sitting day one watching this movie. And then I'm going to be sitting on a podcast with two of my closest friends, and I'm going to be talking about it with them. So even if I didn't have the podcast, no, Keith, you can't meet them. They're cool. But like, but no, like I say all that to just say, even if I didn't have this podcast, I'd still be sitting front row seeing this movie. Maybe not front row. I don't want to break my fucking neck. I can't stand sitting in the front row in theaters. But I'm going to see this, and we'll see what happens. Tiny hand. What do you got?
I was thinking about this today as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
we got a fourth point. I'm glad you joined. This is
the fourth point was the
fifth point. Sorry, I mean.
Yeah, I had another point. I don't remember what it was. Oh, the fucking chess piece.
Yes.
Right.
Okay,
right.
Fifth point.
Fishing wire.
Rare. Thinking about how, like, yeah, okay, Infinity and Endgame, like, there was so much build up, so much story building, character building up to that point, and I feel like this movie has the same feel as Infinity Game or Infinity War and Endgame, without having that build up to it. The
build up's messy.
Afraid, and I think that's part of my trepidation with it, is like, it's like
messy.
Yeah, it's been a hit and miss, and I feel like the Infinity Saga was a whole bunch of hit, and like not misses, but like a not a hit, but like a solid tap, at least.
It's like the lead up to Infinity War and Endgame was like an Olympic gymnast doing all sorts of crazy fucking flips and crazy stuff, and then the big, like, the dismount and the hands up, like, yeah. And this is more like Flappy Bird.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Do you know Flappy Bird, Brandon? You look confused.
I'm not confused. I'm irritated, Keith. You need to shut the hell up. No, I'm joking. It's so funny because I do agree with you. It's very up and down, and I completely agree with you. It's so funny though, because Multiverse Saga has put out some of my favorite TV shows: Loki season 1 and 2, WandaVision, Moon Knight, and it's also put out some of my favorite movies: Spider-Man: No Way Home, Wakanda Forever, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Shang-Chi, and The Legend of the Ten Rings. Like, it's so funny that we're hypercritical. Fantastic Four First Steps is my favorite Fantastic Four movie I've ever seen. It's a low bar, I get it, but it's still amazing. Deadpool and Wolverine lived up to me. Like, it was another great Deadpool movie. And Thunderbolts, one of the most these wonderful. Thunderbolts was one of my favorite MCU movies I've ever seen as well. It's so funny because they've missed on so many different little things. And it's just stockpiled to the point where people just, but golly, they've also really done exceptionally well in other things as well. It's
true.
I guess what I would say is, to Keith's point and to Emmy's point, what they just said, is where it was just a constant, yep, here we are, boom. They're right. They're exactly right. I would just say it's been a messier routine, but there's been some flips that have been like, holy shit, and some moments like, and I just want to make sure there's a lot of really good stuff that are leading into this as well. Again, some of my favorite things I've ever seen from Marvel is in the multiverse saga. I think just the saga itself has not felt, and I think this is probably the point you guys are making. It's just not cohesive, but there are some highs in there. There are some really good highs. And I hope Doomsday and Secret Wars, especially with the Avengers name and the Russo brothers names attached to it, they vault up to the ceiling, and as well, I don't think they'll ever tie in all the loose threads that they left on the floor in Multiverse Saga. I don't think they can do all that. But gosh, if they can give us something that we can say, you know what? Ups and downs, but damn, those two Avengers movies kick some major ass at the end. And that made all of it worth it, or at least made a majority of it worth it. I'll be content with that.
Flappy Bird was harsh. I should have said, like, the multiverse saga has been more like an Olympic gymnast if they had some scissor before their routine.
And we'll wrap this up, everybody. I know we've been going for a minute, but I just want to also just say, Flappy Bird is my favorite game to play in the arcade.
Oh God, ew.
Oh, it's really, really good. So
I hate Flappy Bird.
Keith, you and I will duel at some Flappy Birds
here.
Our
birds.
Guys, thank you so much. Keith wins already. How did he do that? No, thank you so much for listening to our Avengers Doomsday thoughts. Hey, patrons, people on our Discord, thank you so much for commenting today. We love hearing from you. Appreciate that. Look for more of that to happen moving forward. So really appreciate hearing from you. Emmy, thank you for sending an audio clip featuring your thoughts. We did applaud you after every single one. Thank you for those pause breaks. It was really great. Also, just loved having you on the show at the end. So again, timing was, I don't want to say chef's kiss, so you get annoyed when I do that, but
I do.
Impeccable. It was really
Thanks.
good. And Keith, as always, love you, man. Just appreciate your thoughts and everything you bring to the table. Always, I'm just so appreciative of this podcast. Appreciative to be in 2026 with you all as we gear up for two really major movies this year. We'll be reviewing Wonder Man at the end of this month, so we look out for those reviews as well. We're going to be doing the new Spider-Man. Is it Brand New Day? I believe it's Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Baby.
And then Avengers Doomsday. We're going to be here talking MCU more often, and we're really excited to hear from our patrons and feature your thoughts as well. Consider going to patreon.com/Avengers podcast today so you can be featured on the show, and consider giving a 5-star rating on your podcast platform of choice if you like the conversation today. Be a part of the conversation. Hit us up on all social media. We'd love to talk to you. That would be Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, TikTok, all the fun social media. Hit us up if you see us available, message us or send us a thought or put us a comment anywhere. We'd love to feature you on the show. We greatly appreciate. God, the thing just scared the crap out of me. Oh my gosh, it's clobbering time. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We love you all. We're gonna head on out of here. Keith, Emmy, any thoughts before we close out this first pod of 2026?
I would have been here earlier, but we had a croc situation in the locker room.
Who stole everybody's Crocs?
2 different people thought that they came to the game in black Crocs, and so each of them now has one black Croc and thinks that someone stole one of their Crocs.
Fair's fair. Split them down the middle.
Yep. They're all in 2 different teams too. It was
just hopping on one foot. That's all I see in my brain is them hopping on one Croc.
Yeah, one of our JV players and one of my girls. Yeah. Somebody did not wear black Crocs to the game, but 2 people wore one black Croc home.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye. Find your Crocs.